Hi all, in this session we are going to learn about scaling concept in Azure. Here we can learn what is scaling, how we are going to implement the scaling in Azure, and what are the different types of scaling methods which we have in Azure. Everything we are going to discuss in detail. So let us quickly understand what do we mean by scaling. Here scaling means increasing or decreasing the resources based on the requirement. How we can do? Here I am going to show to you in a practical manner, then you will have some better understanding how it is going on. And in scaling, we have two types of scalings are there. The first one is vertical scaling and the second one is horizontal scaling. Here, what do you mean by vertical scaling? Vertical scaling is nothing but adding an additional resource to the existing VM. Suppose if you have already existing VM is there, you have the requirement in order to increase the configuration of the VM, like that may be disk size, that may be CPU, that may be RAM, that may be increasing the size of VM, or that may be adding of new NIC. So whatever the additional resources that has been adding to the VM, that will be called as vertical scaling. In real-time scenarios, we majorly work on this vertical scaling concept. And there are a lot of business scenarios are there. I am going to show to you in a practical manner. And coming to the horizontal scaling is nothing but adding of another resources. Means assume you have 5 VMs are there in order to serve the traffic. Suppose if the traffic has been increased gradually, what you will do? You are going to create some other VMs in addition to the existing VMs in order to serve the traffic. And once the traffic went down, automatically you will again come back to the normal VMs. How many desired VMs are there? By using those VMs, you can be able to serve the traffic. Based on the requirement, you are going to increase the VMs or decrease the VMs. That is nothing but a concept of horizontal scaling. So in this session, we will have a look on vertical scaling business scenarios. What are the different types of business scenarios which we have in vertical scaling? So quickly, I am going to log into the Azure portal. Here what I will do, I am going to create VM. So we will have some kind of business scenarios on those VM and I will show to you each and everything on a practical manner. So how in real time you will get a request, everything. The foremost thing is I need to create the resource group. Here, okay. So I am going to do one thing. I am going to create one new resource group, RG underscore vertical scaling. The name is RG underscore RG-hyphen vertical scaling. Just click on review plus create. Here I am going to select the region as South India. Whatever the region you want, you can select accordingly. So, but right now I just selected the South India, where my resource group has been created. The name of the resource group is RG-hyphen vertical scaling. Here what I will do, I am quickly creating one virtual machine inside of this resource group. Here subscription pay as you go, resource group is RG-hyphen vertical scaling, and here I am going to select the VM name as VM1. That's enough. And here I am going to create the mission used to use region. Here I am selecting the no infrastructure redundancy required because of this is created for lab purpose. And here I am going to select the standard. And with all of these options we have discussed in the last session. Remember guys. And here I am going to select the image as Windows 19 and 2019. Okay, x64. Okay, and here observe guys. Here what I will do. Here I am going to select 2 virtual CPUs. Here if you want to explore more, what you can do, here what I am selecting, just if you want to see all the sizes, so based on your requirement you can select the accordingly. So here click on this. Here what I will do, here I am going to select general purpose. It is going to provide 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB of RAM. Okay, select. And here what I will do, and I am going to set the username. I am going to set the username as devtest928 and password I am going to set. Here if both passwords are same, then only it is green tick mark will be enabled. And here I am going to enable the ports HTTP and HTTPS. And RTP by default I am going to enable because of I am going to create the Windows machine. So that's why the Windows machine will be able to take the remote with the help of the RTP protocol only. And ignoring all of this and click on review plus create. Remember guys, what configuration I had selected? I had selected 2 virtual CPUs, 8 GB RAM. Just click on review plus create. Just check the validation has been passed or not. Yes, click on create. Then the VM will be created with the configuration which I had selected. It will take some time. Just please wait until it has been successfully created. So once the VM will be created, what we will do? We are going to take some kind of business scenarios, how the business requirement came from the client, how we need to act on those. I'm going to show to each and everything. Remember guys, the same will be implemented over the real-time scenarios as well. So whenever there is a request from the client, they are going to raise a request. So in the ticketing tools which they have, every company has their own ticketing tools. So based on the ticketing tools, they are going to request for the things. So whatever the information you want, they are going to provide over the ticket. Suppose still if you have any queries, then you can reach out to the user who had raised the request, and you can request them what actually he is looking for. Based on the requirements, you are going to make such kind of modifications to the server or VM in Azure. And here the resource is going to be created soon. And once it is has been created, with the help of the RTP protocol, as I already opened for the VM, so with the help of the RTP protocol, I can be able to connect to the VM. And here by using what I can be able to connect, by enabling the public IP. Because of if the mission doesn't have the public IP, how I can be able to connect? So in this, so because of that, I just enabled the public IP. So by default, it will be enabled. So right now the machine is in the running state, and if you observe here, it is available with the 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB RAM. Suddenly, first business scenario, assume the first business scenario is assume your client right now you are successfully deploying your services over this VM and it is working fine. Suddenly on one day, the client came with the requirement, the machine is not capable to run my services. I just want to increase the capacity of the resource, like from 2 virtual CPUs to 4 virtual CPUs, and from 8 GB of RAM to 16 GB of RAM. He just get back to you. Then what you will do? You need to increase. So how you will be do? I am going to show to you. But before doing any kind of modification, what you will do? You need to stop the VM, because of here we are making some configuration changes. While doing the any kind of configuration changes, it is a recommended practice to turn off the mission. Once you had done the same, then you can turn on the mission. So the same procedure will be followed by the real-time scenarios as well. Here right now I have 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB RAM. If I want to increase, what I will do? I am going to stop my VM. Yes. What will happen? The machine will shut down. Stop means shut down for some time. So once I had done some configuration changes, whatever the configuration changes I want, I am going to make the changes to the VM. Once that has been successfully done, again I am going to turn on the machine. Then once I turn on the machine, then I can be able to change the modifications happen or not. And here once the machine has been successfully turned off, yes, here the start icon has been highlighted because the machine has been turned off. Here if you click on start, then again your machine will be comes into active. Here before coming to that, what my requirement is, I need to change from 2 virtual CPU to 4 virtual CPU, 8 GB RAM to 16 GB RAM. How that will be done? Go to availability set, availability plus scale. Okay, click on size. Here what you will have here, click on size. Then what is your requirement? You just want to make it to 16 GB of RAM and just come down, come down, come down. Here I need to, here the requirement is not fulfilled in this. So here what you will do, just click on here. How many virtual CPUs you have? Only, okay. Here calm down, calm down. Okay, okay. Here what you will do, here I am going to take, so it is maximum, okay. Here I am going to select this mission D4 ADS. Here right now I have how many CPUs? Two virtual CPUs. Here right now if I select this, how many CPUs I will get? I will get 4 virtual CPUs. Along with that I will get the 16 GB of RAM. Just click on resize. So here what I had done, I am going to changes the configuration of the VM. So from 2 virtual CPUs to 4 virtual CPUs, and from 8 GB of RAM to 16 GB of RAM. And here you will get a notification, resize the virtual machine is done. Then what you will do, just click on overview, and is it reflecting? Still it is showing 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB RAM. Just start on the, click on start. Yes, the machine is in the starting stage. So once it has done, just refresh the VM portal, then you will be able to see the hardware changes. Are you able to see here right now? Right now, earlier I have 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB RAM. Right now, how many CPUs I have? 4 CPUs and 16 GB memory I have. And then I will inform to the client, as per your requirement, I had made configuration changes. You can check and revert to me if any issues you have. And if I want to connect to the mission, what I will do? Click on connect. I just want to check the same by logging to the mission and click the download RDP file and open the file. Just click on connect. It is asking me password. I am going to pass the password which I had set. Click on OK. Just click on yes. Then with the help of the RDP protocol, what you are doing? You are going to connect to the VM. And right now it has a 16 GB memory and the 8 virtual CPUs, and the processing speed is very high. It is not going to take too much time because of, as it is a kind of some high-end environment, means high-end configuration. Like 16 GB of RAM is not a low one, and it has 8 virtual CPUs, 8 cores of CPU. Here, just a moment, wait guys. It is taking some time to get it loaded. Here click on no, and here click on the file option and click on this PC, right click, properties. Here are you able to see how much RAM I have? 16 GB of RAM I have. Okay, in this way we can be able to check whether the same has been implemented over or not. So okay, otherwise you can check here as well. close, system info. Just click on the system information. Then whatever the things are there, it is showing here. So here the voice name is 2019 data center, a build is 10.0.17763. This is the build. So here each and everything, whatever the things, whatever the properties which has been associated with the VM, you can be able to track here. If you want to check about the hardware resources, then you can click here and you just need to, and here whatever the things you want, you can be able to see here. Okay, fine. And as you know, by default, two disks will be created. Here it is not created, but sure it will be created. So no worries, you can ignore. And you have some other kind of business requirement is there. Like what you have, the client is requested you to add the data disk to the VM. Right now, did I have any data disk? If you click here, is there any data disk showing here? No, only I have C disk. Here what we will have in C drive? We will have the OS supporting files, binary files, OS files we have. But in order to put my project data, I need to attach some data disk to the VM. How that will be done? So the client has the requirement, please attach some kind of data disk with the size some around 100 GB of data disk to the VM. So he is going to raise a request. So once we receive the request, what we will do? Again, we are going to turn off the VM. Just go to home and click on the VM and click on the VM. You just need to stop. Yes. Once the machine has been successfully stopped, what you will do? Just go to settings. You have the option disk. Just click on disks. Here you have, just click on refresh. Here you have what you have, only OS disk we have, premium SSD. So along with it, if you want to add any kind of data disk to that, so create and attach a new disk. Just click on plus symbol. Here it is asking you. Here I am going to mention the name is data disk. Okay, data disk, and here I am going to select premium SSD only, and here I am going to select the some around 10 GB. So as it is created for the lab purpose, so take the minimal number. So I'm going to attach the data disk. The name of the data disk is data disk and the size of the data disk is 10 GB. Okay, and here read and write. You can be able to read and write, and it is encrypted by platform manager key. Here if you have any, you have different options is there. Encryption at rest with the platform or platform manager key. If you select the platform manager key, the encryption keys will be managed by the Azure only. Okay, here apply. Once you click on apply, what Azure will do? It is going to attach the data disk with size of 10 GB to the VM. The name of the VM is VM1. Here it has been successfully added. If you refresh here, here you can be able to see one data disk has been attached. So I just want to confirm the same by logging to the machine. So here I'm going to just to check and refresh the portal. Just check whether your machine is in running state or not. Yes, it is in the off state. Just click on start. the machine is going to turn on again. So in this scenario, once the machine has been turned on, if you check it, then it is not going to replicate here. So in order to replicate the disk, we will need to do some kind of modification. So I'm going to show to you guys, don't worry. So just refresh the portal account. Here, yes, it has been started. Just click on connect, download the RDB file again, just click on it, click on connect. So still it is not at all fully turned on. Again, download the RDB file, click on connect, and right now it is asking me to enter the password. Just click on OK. By entering the password, then you will be able to connect to the VM which you had created right now. So what kind of configuration changes I had made right now? I didn't make any configuration changes, but I had made some data disk has been attached to the VM. If I want to confirm the same, what I will do? So I need to go to the file manager. I need to click on this PC where the disk will be reflected. So here it is still only showing OS disk only. It is not at all showing the data disk which I had been attached. If you see same in the Azure portal, is it going to show out or not? Yes. If you click on settings, disks, it is showing the 10 GB space has been data disk has been already attached to the VM. But here when I log into the VM and I check it the same, it is not reflected here. What I need to done here? Here simply go to disk mgmt.msc. It is allowing you to disk management. Here click on OK. Here if you see, the disk one is there. It is 9.98 and almost 10 GB is unallocated. So here if you observe, it is in online, but it is not at allocated. What you need to do? Simply just right click here, new simple volume, and click on next, and click on next, and you need to select the name. Suppose if you want to mention it as E, then you can set the letter E. It is purely your choice. Click on next, and format this volume with the following steps. I am going to format the disk because of it is a raw disk has been attached. So in order to store anything, first of all I need to format with any kind of file system. Here I am going to use the file system as NTFS. NTFS stands for New Technology File System, and just click on next. Once the format has been done, the disk has been formatted with the new technology file system. Then the disk have the file system in order to save our files. Right now it has been come online and it has the space is available. Just if you observe here, it is going to replicate here. Right now is it replicated here or not? Yes. In this way we can be able to attach the disks to the VM, and we have multiple scenarios are there. Like here I just want to, so okay, we will do one thing. So I'm going to cover some other kind of business scenarios in the next session. Okay, so okay guys, I will meet up some other business requirements which is on vertical scaling in the next session. We will meet up in the next session. Until signing off, thank you, bye bye.